he went fucking stupid.
That's just so raggedy and fire. That's a Jeff Hamilton.
Right out. Buenos dias. Welcome to our latest installment of You Shoulda Fucking Been Here. Today's video is gonna be recapping a 2-day pop-up with Mache and WestSide Gunn. A new shoe that, as you're gonna see here in a little bit, that Mache is releasing that's Vegas themed and inspired. And WestSide did a bunch of one-of-one pieces that are gonna be available exclusively here. And I literally have my entire staff helping set up because we open the doors in 20 minutes and we're not there yet. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. This is where I introduce you to my main man, Mache, who is like a sneaker genius, right? He's customized for pretty much the likes of everyone in the NFL world, the athlete world, WWE. Like, I know it's awkward when you hear somebody talking about you in front of you, like, and is trying to.
And I'm just trying to look weird.
Yeah. But nah, he's a man. I've been following him for a long time, and to finally have the opportunity to have Mache in our shop and release this Vegas-inspired sneaker was extremely humbling and an instant yes. So I just really wanted to ask you, a couple of questions about your journey, man. Like, what was that moment with sneakers that made you say, you know what, I gotta tweak these?
I mean, sneakers, I think for a lot of us, I think we all come from those humble beginnings. Sneakers was an easy way to give yourself a boost of confidence. I couldn't afford clothes ever that good. Obviously we weren't in poverty, but we weren't doing that great. So the appreciation to actually spend the money and get my own shoes was a big thing. But then, as you get older and whatever, you kind of see the trends and everything's kind of over and over, regurgitated things. And I've always been an artist all my life, and I just kind of took it in my hands. Saw someone else doing custom shoes. I've been an athlete all my life, so I've always had an inner competitor, no matter what. And I saw it, I was like, I could do that. So this is back in like 2002, 2001. And I was in my mom's basement, got some paints from like Michael's, the art store, and got some beat up Air Max 9s and just painted them different shades of purple. And like, there was no YouTube on how to properly paint shoes. There was no nothing. You didn't know what kind of paint to use. No one knew what Angel's paint was. And they were terrible. I mean, in hindsight, at the time they looked great, but brush strokes everywhere and whatever. But I wore them to the barbershop, and my boys are like, when did I come out with those? I'm like, oh, I painted them. And then that was kind of social media back then. You go to the barbershop, so I ended up painting pairs for all my guys at the shop. They're all wearing them. They're cracking and peeling and everything. But like, we didn't know how to properly do it. So that's where it started. And then you found out other people were doing it, through like the ISS forums and Nike Talks, and we had like a small little forum, little brotherhood, and we would kind of share secrets, and it was a guarded secret, like what paint to use and how to prep foam posits and whatever. But whenever we learned something new or a different trick, we'd share it. And at the time, I could count on two hands how many guys were doing it.
Right.
Now.
The one thing that brings a smile to my face is like, I remember that era of if you got the seal of approval at the barbershop, you were honest something. Yeah. Right? Like with music, with sneakers and everything. So I could definitely relate to that. For me, I think I started paying attention to you later on into your craft. I'll be honest, probably 2000, I got hit 2012, 2013.
Around LeBron time.
Yeah, so the first shoe that I saw personally in hand from actually a friend of my wife's family and from Hawaii, but lived here for a bit. Mm-hmm. You did an Iron Man LeBron that you sent out here.
Oh, okay.
And way back in the day, 2013, 2014, Joni and I used to have a blog that was called 2J's Kicks. This is like 2J's folklore for those that don't know. And we did this blog on this guy, Ryan Corpuz. I don't know if that name rings a bell. But you did an Iron Man, and the details on that, like, I gotta find these pictures. They're on that blog that I put up. Fucking nuts. And I've been like just oogling over a lot of the work that you've done over the years, man. And So you go from that customizing, like just trying to change stuff. Where does the I think I can make my own sneaker part of it?
Ooh, about 18 years later. It's a long journey. I mean, the things that happened through customizing shoes was crazy. I mean, obviously, I think we owe a lot to social media. You know, getting your brand out and people knowing who you are. I mean, I remember when I did the shoes for LeBron. You know, like that was the night that kids in Iowa knew who Mache was, and it wasn't just the the local guy that was doing whatever. You know, that I owe a lot to genuine cosigns to people.
Right.
And through that, it's just been relationship building, and as well as anybody that your network's your net worth. And
right.
I was knowing guys that were interns at like agencies that are now higher ups at Jordan Brand and like things like that. And those relationships you just kind of cultivate. It's not just to have like someone in your pocket, just you become friends with somebody, and
right.
people look out, and if something happens to pop up that makes sense that you can plug you in, they look out for you. And likewise, if I find something I can think of that I can plug somebody else in, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
So over 20 years I've amassed of friends and relationships, and just meeting people and people wanting to support, and likewise reciprocated. It's grown to this Rolodex of clients and friends that people will be a dream list. I mean, when you're doing stuff for
right.
The Rock and Jay-Z and Kanye and like all these people that you would never think that are all global brands now are people I've worked with. Like I know they're talking about like the top receivers this year in the NFL, and like 6 of the 10 are people who've gotten cleats of mine, and it's like it's cool. It feels like I'm part of that, even though I'm not running routes. I feel like I'm part of that journey.
I get it, but I mean, here's the part that even just me thinking it before I say it is giving me goosebumps. You bring up 6 out of the 10 top receivers in the league right now have that work. It's a given. At least a third of those guys are going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So there's a very high probability that some of your work is probably going to be.
I got 2 pairs already. 2. The Minneapolis Miracle cleats that Diggs did, and Xavier Rhodes for his record interception.
So
TV
something
thing.
starting off as I want to be different ends in the Hall of Fame.
It's wild.
How do you top that? And I think the amazing part with stories like yours and a lot of what people see on our channel is that same part. You stuck with it, and to see where your journey's bringing you, and to see you basically at ground floor with this new layer that's about to like explode for you is really dope, man. And shout out to everybody that came and picked up a pair or had any positive words to say or got that autograph from them, or the shirts. Like those shirts were super limited. I know that you're gonna be running a pre-order, and if I'm not mistaken, you're dropping that pretty much when I drop this video, right?
Yeah, pre-order's gonna open up Friday, the 27th, and then
the 27th,
and then it'll run through Monday, whatever that day is. So whenever that is, it'll be the Monday. I always leave it for 72 hours because, again, as a sneaker collector, I hate not having the opportunity to get things I want to, and I didn't want people that want to support me to not have that feeling.
Right.
So as long as they put a little bit of minimal effort and just pay attention for like a 3-day span, you can get the shoes. And it's just a matter of being patient and knowing what you're getting. But I mean, the journey with the shoe was just like, I got to a point where my checklist of goals was kind of checked off in terms of being a custom artist. And I was like, what else can I do? And the breaking point kind of happened goes back to relationships, was All-Star Weekend 2 years ago. And it was in Chicago, I remember that year. And usually I have some kind of, work with one of the brands, whether it's doing like a one-off for one of the players, doing something for an installation, something. It was the first year I didn't get any phone calls. And I was kind of like, damn, I finally got to the point where, I was like, I'm kind of tired of having these brands dictate my future and like me waiting on them. I was like, I'm going to take it in my own hands, and that's not a shame to them. It's just a matter of, kind of controlling my own destiny.
Yeah. You understood scale.
Yeah.
You understood scale, and you understood, hey, I could probably do this myself. Yeah, there's going to probably be some bumpy parts of the road, but like, bro, you're in charge of you're controlling your destiny on a whole nother level, man, and it's amazing. And I'm honored, humbled that we were a small part in what's about to blow up. Like,
it's exciting. It was exciting and scary, and certainly, releasing a shoe inspired by Vegas. I mean, this was the only place I would want to have it, drop first to get people the first chance. I mean, obviously, your journey's been crazy too. So we kind of have that in common.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense to do it here and give everyone the opportunity. And it was dope to see everybody come through and the genuine support and people that are lined up early. Mixed with the energy of West pop up here too. So it was dope to get a nice little cross pollination.
Yeah,
of
it definitely
people.
and that's what the goal was. Is how do we get all these new eyes on each other?
Right.
And it just we'll see what that ripple effect is down the road.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I don't want to take up too much more of your time, man. Again, humbled, bro. I know you got to catch a flight and all that stuff, man. So
good.
love, bro.
Appreciate
Make sure
you.
to give this guy a follow and make sure to check out that pre-order. It's gonna probably be going on right when you see this video.
Yeah, MacheCostumes.com.
So if you've made it to this part of the video, you've pretty much seen 2 days of WestSide Gunn and Mache's pop-ups here at Urban Necessities. And WestSide was kind enough to give me a few minutes of his time before he jumps on a plane and goes back home to kind of, help me storytell a little bit and give you guys some inspiration. So first off, thank you, bro. Like, the amount of energy, the respect that I've had tons of respect from you from day one, but to see how you interacted with all these guests and how much time you gave guests here, that's very seldomly ever seen, bro, and I can't thank you enough on behalf of all the fans that came in. But talk to me about that moment with rap and music that you were like, yo, you know what, I gotta give this a go and try. What was that song? What was that album? Or
That's the thing, man. Growing up, I'm not no spring chicken. Like, I done grew up in the 80s, man. You know what I'm saying? So hip hop was all around me because, at that time growing up, that's when, hip hop was evolving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, older cousins, older uncles, aunties. My mom had me when she was 16.
Right.
So you got to think, she having me still in the high school years. So, she hip and cool. So you already know hip hop just been around me, but just the culture.
Right.
My whole life, you know what I'm saying? So, my uncles used to hustle, all of that. It's just like, it's just a lifestyle.
The inspiration was
It
everywhere.
was just a lifestyle, you know what I mean? But it was just like, the art piece of it just really came when I was in 5th grade. Like, I was still a youngin', like 19 years old. And my best friend, man, my homie Victor, you know what I'm saying? Still to this day, shout out to Victor. He do everything for me still to this day. You know what I mean? All my graphics, all of that, the Buffalo Kid logo, all of that, that's Victor. You know what I'm saying?
That's amazing.
So it's like, I still have like the same crew I started with when I was 9 years old, still to, you know what I mean, today.
No, right.
So
I've seen. I mean, in the little bit of time I've interacted with you over the years, and now here, especially these last 2 days, I see that loyalty that you have for your people and the people have for you is wild, bro. Like, that is so rare.
Yeah.
Because most times,
you gotta bring love into it.
right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, you gotta understand, a lot of people do things for money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I never did anything for money. You know what I'm saying? It's always, I just do what I want, and just hopefully the people love what I do enough to want to support it. It's not even like, it's like when people buy into Griselda, they buy into WestSide Gunn, they invest in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's people that literally buy shirts just to even flip, because it's just like, yo,
Yeah, the resale is
what can I do?
crazy, too.
You know what I'm saying? They might live in, you know what I'm saying, Wichita, Kansas. You know what I mean? They might drive to a pop-up so they get some exclusive, take it out there and triple their worth. It's like,
Right.
There's people that really do that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you need to know the value of yourself and your brand, and just keep pushing it. You know what I'm saying? But even since, 9 years old, like I was saying, Victor, he was crazy with the pen just drawn. But I was always creative, and I was a storyteller, and I was the class clown,
Right.
and the bad kid, you know what I'm saying? But like, my stories was dope. So we just came together and we formed, my first name is Alvin, so his name Victor, so we had Altor Comics at 10 years old. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
wild.
so we would collect all the comics, but at the same time, he'd make these characters, and I would name them, and I'd come up with the stories. So we was doing that at 10 years old. Then it went to...
No, you was ahead of the curve at a young age.
Yeah, I was getting screen printing done when I was 12 years old. 13 years old, I had grown men wearing my stuff literally when I was 12, 13 years old. We was wearing our own stuff in middle school. You know what I'm saying?
You know what the impressive part, and I think that what you guys need to get caught up in when he's talking about this, He's talking about some he started at 9 and started putting into production at 12. You're 20 plus years into this craft, right? So this, what looks like might have been overnight, has 20 plus years of energy and effort and sacrifices and wins and losses and lumps and like heartbreaks and excitement. And I feel with everything that you've been doing over the last couple of years, you're really that next line of fashion, in my opinion, from our culture that's gonna get the opportunity to do stuff like massively worldwide, right? Like we have the Jerry's, the Yays, the Off-Whites, you're next up, bro. And you got all these people.
They are family already.
Yeah,
everybody can name is already my family.
Yeah, they all in your ear. And you told me on some projects that you're working on with some of these individuals, and it's amazing, bro, and it's exciting, and I'm so happy to be able to see it like a little bit closer. I'm on the sidelines, but it's still dope to be this close to the sideline and hear a couple of these plays getting called out. It's like being on the field or being at a game and hearing the commentary between the players, man. So it's really dope. And again, I can't thank you enough for being here and sharing that moment.
The fans was crazy.
Nah, yo, the energy was wild.
Shout out to Vegas, man.
For real. Yo,
I love y'all. So many people, though, they drove. It was people that drove from Texas.
Yo.
It was people that drove from
on a one-day
California.
notice. On a one-day notice. We had been talking about it for a few months, but just the way the world works, it just, what we didn't think was going to pull off got pulled off. Less than 72-hour notice, and announced it, and literally the next day there was a line that went all the way out of Caesar's Palace. And I told Wes when we was eating a little bit a while ago, he's the first rapper ever to do a pop-up inside Caesar's Palace. Like, bro, this is like one of the most monumental moments in our culture, bro. And I'm humbled to be a little part of that, and I hopefully we get the opportunity. You know, I'm gonna be in Atlanta soon, and at SneakerCon, man, and I'd love for you to be a part, and we give the folks some at SneakerCon and just do it the UN Griselda way. You know what I mean?
That's what people want.
Yeah.
People
So
want, you know what I mean?
yeah, so we might pull up.
You know, I get them sneakers in too now, man.
Yeah,
Y'all
man.
know how I come on with my feet game, man. You already know what I do.
I told Vic there's two people that I really respect with this sneaker shit. Well, there's two that I know. Let me correct myself, because there's a lot of rappers and musicians and artists that fuck with the sneakers. But two that I'm like, I get geeked when I hear them talking about sneakers. The two main ones is WestSide and Vic Spencer. I know Khan talk about it, but you really one of the first ones that I was like, wait a minute, bringing up? How would he know about those?
Yeah, sure.
And you know what I'm saying? And we've known each other for a few years, and it's just really been dope to see him grow as a brand, as a person. And I know it's awkward to stand there when people are giving you all the compliments and all that stuff, because I get it, but yo, to be able to come back and do this again, I'm extremely excited about to bring this back to Atlanta when I know the city loves you, and you got
Atlanta, man.
You got a lot of good energy out there, bro. It's gonna be
I
dope.
got a house in Atlanta, so
Right.
I have so much ties in Atlanta. My family is in Atlanta. You know, everything is in Atlanta. And you know, it's one of those situations. I even wanted to open up an Atlanta store. We was trying to do some research on that. So do something in Atlanta, that's home.
Yeah.
So you know, if I do anything there, I'm showing out. You know what I'm saying? I'm showing out.
So that event's gonna be SneakerCon October 9th in Atlanta. Just book the tickets now, man. I'm telling you, the merch gonna be wild.
Let's do it.
And you know me, I'm Willy Wonka of this shit. So I got some things I'm trying to pitch about, you know, some sneaker shoppings at SneakerCon with us, and I'm excited, man. Bro, love for real, man. Safe travels. Guys, I thank you for your time and watching this video. Make sure to give us a follow and share this video for me.
I see y'all in Atlanta, man. I'm gonna design 101s for y'all, man, so you already know. Come through, man. Peace.